extend the ACA credits, but Senator Rick Scott introduced a proposal today called the More Affordable Care Act. It says it keeps the Affordable Care Act framework in place, but redirects federal funds from the subsidies to what they're calling Trump Health Freedom Accounts. I want to get your reaction to that proposal. And it seems that, I'm just curious, what's the path forward to extending the tax credits from the minority? In the times that they've been extended before, Democrats were in the majority. I'm just curious if they're putting forward proposals for HSAs or Trump Health Freedom Accounts. How do you get to a conversation about extending the tax credits when it didn't turn out during the shutdown?
It's interesting to me that Rick Scott and all of these MAGA extremists in the House and the Senate proceeded with great urgency throughout the entirety of the first half of this year to pass their one big ugly bill, which included the largest cut to Medicaid in American history. And by the way, I think Rick Scott has some history with Medicaid fraud in the state of Florida, so he's no expert on health care. We ain't going to be lectured by Rick Scott about anything, but certainly not affordable health care, given his track record. But they raced to enact the largest cut to Medicaid in American history, devastated communities all across America where you have hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health centers closing in real time, including in rural parts of the country. In that same one big ugly bill, they ripped food away from hungry children, seniors, and veterans and enacted a $186 billion cut to SNAP, which also happens to be the largest cut to nutritional assistance in American history. And why did the extremists do all of this? So they could pass massive tax breaks for their billionaire donors, and they made those tax breaks permanent. So they spent the first 6 months of this year focused on subsidizing the lifestyles of the rich and shameless in their one big ugly bill, but can't be bothered to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Even now, we're less than 45 days away from those tax credits expiring, and tens of millions of Americans, including in Florida, are about to see their premiums, copays, and deductibles skyrocket in ways that will make their health care unaffordable. So from our standpoint, this is not that complicated. We have a discharge petition. I believe it has north of 200 signatures on it. All we need is 3 or 4 Republicans to join us. And if they did so, we can discharge a bill that would extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits for 3 years. Everyday Americans, working class Americans, and middle class Americans deserve the same level of certainty that Republicans decided to provide to their billionaire donors when they enacted these massive tax breaks and then had the nerve to make those massive tax breaks permanent, but can't be bothered to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Now, we're going to work closely with our Democratic colleagues in the Senate on the vote that is scheduled no later than the second week of December on a Democratic proposal related to extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits. And I expect that we're going to be in alignment. And at this point, Republicans just need to take yes for an answer. Say yes to your constituents who you're jamming up right now and who are about to suffer even more from the Republican health care crisis.